Michael Oher, a quiet teenager in Memphis, drifts from one foster home to another. His mother struggles with addiction, and his father is absent, leaving him with no permanent place to stay. At 17, he has spent most of his life searching for stability, but every time he is placed in a new home, he runs away. One day, a man named Tony Hamilton brings Michael, along with his own son Stephen, to Wingate Christian School. Tony hopes both boys can be admitted. Bert Cotton, the school's football coach, notices Michael's size and athletic ability. Although Michael's academic record is poor, Cotton persuades the board to give him a chance. At his new school, Michael barely speaks. He struggles with assignments, often turning in blank tests. Most teachers assume he is incapable of learning, but one teacher, Mrs. Boswell, notices that he listens closely and remembers what he hears. She realizes he learns best through oral instruction rather than written work. After classes, Michael spends his time wandering. He often searches for food in the bleachers after games or sleeps in the school gym when he has nowhere else to go. Meanwhile, Sean Toohey and his wife Lee, who are wealthy and well-known in the community, attend their daughter Collins's volleyball game. Afterward, Sean notices Michael picking up leftover snacks from the stands. He doesn't intervene, but the image stays with him. Later that evening, as the Toohey family drives home, they see Michael walking alone in the cold, dressed in only a t-shirt and shorts. Concerned, Lee asks the driver to stop. She steps out and approaches him. When she learns he has no place to stay, she invites him to spend the night at their home. Michael accepts, quietly following her into the house. For the first time in his life, he is offered a warm bed and a safe place to rest. The next morning, Michael wakes up early and quietly leaves the Toohey home. Lee notices him walking away and catches up to him at the gate. She insists that he come back and spend Thanksgiving with her family. At dinner, Michael sits apart from the others, watching silently as the Tooheys gather around the television. Lee notices his discomfort. She turns off the TV, leads everyone to the dining table, and asks them to join hands in prayer. For the first time, Michael feels like part of a family. In the days that follow, Lee takes Michael shopping for clothes. When he resists, saying he has clothes at his mother's house, she drives him there. They find an eviction notice posted on the door. His mother has disappeared, and the home is abandoned. Realizing he has nothing to return to, Michael quietly accepts Lee's offer of new clothes. Lee prepares a proper bedroom for him in her home, complete with a bed and furniture. Michael is stunned. He has never had a room of his own. That night, he thanks her simply, saying it's the first bed he has ever owned. Over time, he begins to settle into life with the Tooheys. Collins, their teenage daughter, accepts his presence without question, even when her friends express discomfort. Their younger son, SJ, quickly bonds with Michael, often showing him around and encouraging him with enthusiasm. Meanwhile, teachers at school notice improvement. With guidance, Michael's grades slowly rise. Though still quiet, he begins to participate more and shows determination to succeed. When Coach Cotton suggests Michael try football, his size and strength immediately stand out. But Michael is unsure of how to use them. He struggles to grasp the rules of the game and hesitates to play aggressively. Still, the Tooheys support him. Lee, in particular, tells Coach Cotton that Michael just needs the right motivation. She reminds Michael that his job on the field is to protect his quarterback the way he would protect his own family. With that perspective, Michael's approach changes. His protective instincts take over, and he begins to excel. Coaches realize he has rare talent, and his future in football suddenly looks promising. Michael's connection to the Toohey family deepens. They invite him to take part in their Christmas photo, including him as though he has always been one of them. Word spreads among friends and relatives, and some begin questioning Lee's decision to bring him into her home. At lunch, her friends express concern, hinting that Collins might not be safe living under the same roof as a large black teenager. Offended, Lee leaves the table without responding further. Later, she talks privately with Collins, asking if she feels uneasy with Michael in the house. Collins calmly assures her that she is fine and has no problem with him staying. Relieved, Lee knows the bond between Michael and her family is only growing stronger. As football practice continues, Michael still struggles with technique. Coach Cotton becomes frustrated, pointing out mistakes and telling him to be more aggressive. During one practice, Lee steps onto the field. She speaks directly to Michael, explaining that each member of the team is like part of his family. His role is to protect them with the same care he gives to those he loves most. Her words resonate deeply. When practice resumes, Michael channels that protective instinct. He blocks fiercely, shields his teammates, and begins dominating opponents. The coaches watch in amazement as he transforms before their eyes. From that moment, Michael becomes a vital player. Meanwhile, Lee and Sean discuss the idea of adopting him legally. Sean hesitates at first, worried about Michael's unknown past. But Lee insists. Determined, she tracks down Michael's biological mother, Denise, who is living in difficult conditions and struggling with addiction. Lee asks for her blessing to adopt Michael. Though reluctant at first, Denise ultimately agrees, believing her son will have a better life with the Tuohys. Soon after, Michael officially becomes part of the family. He receives his driver's license, and Sean even surprises him with a car. For the first time, Michael feels a sense of permanence, safety, and belonging. One day, while driving with SJ, Michael loses control of the car and crashes. In the chaos, he instinctively throws out his arm to shield SJ from the airbag, preventing serious injury. Though shaken, both survive unharmed. When Lee arrives, she comforts Michael, assuring him it wasn't his fault. She thanks him for protecting SJ, proof of the instinct she always knew he carried inside. Michael's performance on the football field grows stronger. In his first real game, he hesitates at the start, unsure of his role. The opposing players mock him, targeting him with insults and cheap shots. But remembering Lee's words, he shifts his focus. He plays as though protecting his family, blocking with power and precision. His effort turns the game around, and his team wins. SJ, excited by Michael's success, records the highlights and sends them to college football programs across the country. Coaches quickly take notice. Soon, recruiters begin visiting the Tuohy home, eager to meet Michael and persuade him to join their universities. While the interest in Michael grows, his academic record remains a concern. He needs a higher GPA to qualify for scholarships. Determined to help, Lee hires a tutor named Miss Sue. She works with Michael every day, using patient methods to build his skills and confidence. With steady effort, his grades rise enough to meet NCAA requirements. As college offers pour in, the Tuohys make it clear that their alma mater, the University of Mississippi, known as Ole Miss, is their top choice. Sean once played basketball there, and Lee was a cheerleader. Miss Sue also attended the school, making it a natural path. Still, Michael hesitates. Choosing a university is a major decision, and he feels the weight of it. Meanwhile, word spreads about his rapid rise in both academics and athletics. For someone who once had no home, his future is now filled with opportunity. Eventually, Michael decides on Ole Miss, telling recruiters it feels like home because it's where his family went. The Tuohys celebrate with pride, knowing his journey is only beginning. But soon, questions arise. The NCAA launches an investigation, suspecting that the Tuohys influenced Michael's decision so he would play for their alma mater. During an interview, Michael is asked if they only adopted him to benefit Ole Mississippi. The implication shakes him. Overwhelmed, he leaves the room without finishing. Confused and hurt, Michael confronts Lee asking if she had an ulterior motive when she took him in. For the first time, doubt clouds his trust in the family. Without answering, he leaves the house and disappears into the night. Michael returns to his old neighborhood, searching for his biological mother. Instead, he finds familiar faces from his past, gang members who once knew him. At first, they welcome him back, offering him a drink and a place among them. But the mood shifts when one of them makes crude, offensive remarks about Lee and Collins. Anger overtakes Michael. He lashes out, fighting to defend the people who gave him a home. The confrontation ends violently, but Michael escapes before it escalates further. Shaken, he realizes how dangerous it would be to stay connected to his past. Meanwhile, Lee searches desperately for him. When Michael finally calls, they arrange to meet. During their conversation, Lee assures him she has always acted out of love, not for any personal gain. She tells him the decision about his future is his alone to make, and she will support whatever he chooses. Reassured, Michael regains his trust in her. He returns to the NCAA investigators and calmly explains that he chose Ole Miss because it is where his family studied. His simple but firm answer ends the investigation. Graduation arrives. Michael, once considered a failure in school, now has the grades to move forward. His achievements in both academics and sports make him eligible for a college scholarship. Surrounded by the Tuohys, he celebrates a milestone he once thought impossible. Soon after, it is time for Michael to leave for college. The family helps him pack and prepare for the next chapter of his life. Before he goes, he shares an emotional hug with Lee and expressing gratitude without words. The story closes with a glimpse of the real Michael Oher. He goes on to play college football at Ole Miss, later entering the NFL as a first-round draft pick. Photographs of the real Tuohy family and Michael appear, showing the bond that changed all their lives.